Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists episode 695. My name is Kyle.
And my name is James.
And we're here to talk movies, movie lists, and movie obsession for the next hour or so. James, it's good to see you on the screen again.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good.
Good.
Zach and I mentioned this last week. Last time I saw you was actually in person.
Yeah, in like a completely different state.
Yeah, right. That neither of us live in.
Right. Yeah, for those that didn't hear last week, Kyle and I spent some time together in person, which is a rarity.
Right, it is.
In Illinois, in Chicago to be exact. And we went and saw a Nine Inch Nails concert, the band Nine Inch Nails, which was awesome.
It was an awesome concert, yeah.
Yeah. When I invited you to it, I was like, I don't know if Kyle really listened to Nine Inch Nails or like cares about this at all, but it was kind of close to you, so I was like, I like hanging out with Kyle. This might be an opportunity. I'll throw it out there. If you say no, no big deal type of thing. And you were like, yeah, I'm in. And then I come to learn you're like a big fan.
Yeah, they were they were a huge part of for me in middle school, high school, a little bit into college.
Sure.
Definitely like in the 2010s, I started kind of losing track of what they were up to.
That's when everybody lost track of what
yeah,
they were
probably.
up to,
so
for the most part. I mean, he literally released an album for free on the internet and it barely made a blip. They didn't play, I think, a single song from that album that night.
I think that's the album I remember downloading.
Sure.
Because it has like 999 or whatever, like 9,999 on it, 1 million. And it's yeah. And like that was kind of the last, like, oh yeah, this is good. And then just sort of lost track of Nine Inch Nails after that. But
sure.
Yeah, seen them in person.
He released another album that had like saxophones on it and backup singers. And the fans didn't react well to that one either. And that one, I think that might be the last full album.
Okay.
Since then, every couple years he'll release like a single or two, or like a little EP with like 2 or 3 songs on it. But I don't think he's released a full album since.
I mean,
it
sounds like
got the fan backlash.
Sure, yeah. It sounds like the Tron Ares soundtrack will be the next full Nine Inch Nails album.
Yeah, he hasn't come out and said that. He did say it's a Halo, which it's the first soundtrack, I believe, that gets the Halo treatment.
Probably.
And I think it's actually being listed as Nine Inch Nails provided the music for the movie, as opposed to Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Like,
correct.
They actually put the title, the band name on it this time.
Right.
First time that ever they've done that too. So, yeah. Hopefully it's. I'm guessing that there's probably the one song, the one that they've released for Tron.
Right.
I wouldn't be shocked if that's the only song with lyrics on.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's probably the credits song. And the rest is probably just electronic score from the movie, maybe mixed in a way that's not quite so scory, if that makes sense.
Right, but not like, just actual songs.
Right. Yeah.
Where can I find that? I was looking earlier at like the track list on Spotify, because they have it like you can't.
Did
download
they release
it.
the soundtrack or
they did.
The track list anyway? Yeah,
and but it is 15 songs all credited to Nine Inch Nails.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know if these are like radio friendly songs or if these are more soundtracky songs.
Right. Oh, I'm seeing, according to Google's AI, not to correct you, there's 24 tracks.
Oh yeah, no, I was scanning. I was like scrolling and trying to count. So
okay.
24 looks more accurate than 15. Yeah. You could correct me all you want.
Sure. Yes, and with these titles, who knows if those are actually songs with lyrics or whether they're just representations of what happens during the movie. You know what I mean? That's normally how they name these things.
I mean, let's be honest. Like the second track is Forked Reality. The third track is Echoes. Then it's This Changes Everything. Those sound like beat plots in a movie.
Right, but they could also be Nine Inch Nails song titles.
That's true. They could.
If you think of their song titles like Reptile, Big Man with a Gun, Ruiner, closer. You know what I mean? Like if you didn't know what those actually were, you could mistake them for soundtrack
It's
track titles.
very true. We'll find out.
Yeah.
I did hear a rumor, and I'm
Mhm.
hoping this is true, that Metallica is going to have a Sphere residency.
Oh, really?
And I think
Interesting.
if that happens,
If you go, you let me know when, and I will be there with you.
so I've never been to Vegas.
I haven't either. I've been to
Yep.
Vegas as a child, but not
Okay.
as an adult who's just there to goof around.
Right. Yeah.
So,
And I've seen Metallica twice, but I think seeing them in the Sphere would be amazing.
yeah.
And it's probably something where I would probably be like, how much is it? Okay.
And you know what? While we're there, we're probably going to have to see Wizard of Oz as well. Have you been watching those videos about Wizard of Oz?
The full. So I've seen first the Matrix version, which I think is a different theater, where like it was a screen and then they kind of would make buildings around it. Like I would say the surroundings represented what was happening on screen, but it wasn't an extension
Mm-hmm.
of the screen. Right. This Wizard of Oz looks like it looks like an IMAX movie where they just extended the whole scene up into the entire Sphere.
Yeah, they took a 4K picture and didn't blow it up,
No.
extended it to 16K.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So there is tons of invention around the actual frame of the original movie. And in some cases, they had to move characters around because they would like walk off screen and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how do you deal
So-
with that type of thing?
Now I've been wondering, is it AI generated, all this extension of Wizard of Oz, or were there artists, humans making decisions about like, okay, what do the tops of these trees look like? What's happening on this side of the forest?
My understanding is that it is AI generated. The base is AI generated,
Okay.
based on human prompts. They didn't just
Yep.
feed the movie and be like, extend it. They
Sure.
told it what to do to extend it. And then they had humans fix the things that AI couldn't quite get.
You're right.
So, and
Maybe
like,
this is
the soundtrack completely re-recorded with a full orchestra, not AI,
Oh,
not
yeah,
AI.
that's good. Yeah.
From what I understand, it's basically the visuals that were AI assisted.
Okay.
Everything else has been humans, supposedly.
And it sounds like there's some live elements to the movie also, like things falling from the ceiling, smoke coming out of the seats.
Yeah, right. They call it a 4D experience, which is so
Right.
cheesy. But I guess that's what we're calling those things.
The 4D experience. Okay.
Right. I mean,
Right.
technically it's a 3D experience, right? If they're actually dropping something on you.
Well, yeah, I guess I always thought 3D as being like it appears to be three-dimensional. Right.
It's very pedantic, but there's no such thing as 4D. If something's dropped on you, that's 3D. But I understand everybody thinks of 3D as like my eyes see depth. I get
Right.
it. But if it's a physical object in front, I mean, technically, I don't even think a 3D experience, what we consider a 3D experience, I don't think that's technically a 3D experience.
No, it's a 2D experience.
Right.
It's a trick of the eye.
Right, exactly. But you can't fight, I don't know,
Progress.
It's not even progress. It's
No, I'm joking. I know it's not.
common accepted thought. I don't know.
You
Marketing.
can't fight vernacular.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, good time. That concert was so good. They're going to be in Tampa next Wednesday, and I spend at least 3 or 4 times a day talking myself into either going or not going.
Oh, you should go.
To next Wednesday. The problem is I don't have anybody to go with, so I'd be going solo.
That's fine.
Like, I don't know anybody that's going to drive to Tampa with me to go
Yeah.
see Nine Inch Nails. Yeah, like all my friends who listen to Nine Inch Nails with me, none of them live in Orlando anymore.
Right.
So,
You've gone to
But I
concerts solo before, right?
I have, but it's been a long, long time.
Oh,
The last one was probably mid 2010s. So 10 years or so.
Oh, really? Okay.
You've gone to them solo?
Oh, yeah. I saw Anthrax solo. I would
Okay.
say I'd see more concerts solo now, just because I don't have a lot of middle-aged metalhead friends, so I'll just go by myself and enjoy them. Yeah,
sure. I mean, depending on the timing and where it's at, let me know. I'm
yeah.
down.
Well, like I said, I will keep an eye on that Metallica sphere. That could be a rumor. It's not confirmed, but
it would not surprise me because they have big enough mass appeal to draw fans of all ages from all over the world. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and they have so many fans that are in our position, like dudes in their 40s and up who have disposable income. You know what I mean? We are not teenagers who is penny pinching every $20 type of thing. So I think that's why a lot of these bands just have not disappeared at all, is because their fans got older. Now they're lawyers and they will 100% pay an insane price for a ticket. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. To like live out this nostalgic feeling of, well, I couldn't go see them when I was 13, but
right.
And at 42,
specifically with Nine Inch Nails too, I think there's something to be said for like that guy on the stage is the same guy who wrote these angsty songs in the 90s, right? Like really about as angsty as they got, let's be fair. And so to now have like a 50-year-old, maybe even early 60s.
He's 60.
Is he 60? Yeah. To have
He's 60, yeah.
To have a 60-year-old on stage singing the songs, if he had never transitioned into soundtracks, it would feel to me a little gimmicky, or like I'm going to use the word pathetic. That's not the right word.
But like he's trying to like relive his glory days.
Right. I think he's playing the songs that people want him to play.
Right.
And the songs that he's tired of, he clearly transformed them into something that he had fun playing. You know what I mean? Like playing Closer is kind of a cringy song. I love the song, but if you look at the lyric, you know the lyrics.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cringy song for a 60-year-old to be singing on a stage. But the way they like changed it kind of whole cloth, but kept it closer. I just think that's the only way to do it at that age. You know what I mean? On some of these things.
Yeah. I think if you've been playing music for that long, right, and especially that's your hit, you're like, I don't want to play this song the same way for 30 years straight, because at that point it sounds like you're just like, let's just play the hits, and that sounds like a cash grab. So the fact that he is reinventing his own songs,
sure,
and it's a remix. Like essentially, I would say this concert, half the songs felt like remixes or reinterpretations.
Sure,
where I mean, partially it's because Nine Inch Nails is so studio produced. I don't think you can perfectly recreate these songs live anyway.
Yeah. I saw him, we don't have to make this all Nine Inch Nails talk.
I know.
But I saw him in 2014, 2015, and that concert felt like they were trying to do the songs from the albums. Whereas this one felt way more experimental and way more like, we're just going to do what we think is cool, even if it's not exactly what you remember on the albums. And I appreciated that.
I mean, having heard those songs so many times for the last 30 years, I don't need to hear the album version of it necessarily.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we here to talk about, Kyle? We got a movie to talk about, right?
We do have a movie to talk about, a movie that did remind us of 90s music. We almost went down a different path with this list, but we decided to do something else.
For sure. And not only 90s music, but isn't this set in the 90s?
Yeah, it's like set in like New York City in the late 90s, 98 or something like that.
Right. So we're
Juliana's America.
Exactly, for sure. So yeah, we're going to talk the new movie Caught Stealing from director Darren Aronofsky. Before we jump into that, we need to remind you there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go check it out there. Search Cinereelists. Subscribe and watch while you listen. You could also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. Support the podcast, get extra after show audio, as well as a bunch of other Cinerealist swag. You could also leave us an Apple Podcast review, 5 stars only. We'd appreciate that. Leaving a review helps us in the Apple charts. I don't know what leaving a review does, to be honest. I just know we need to get reviews. So if you haven't left us a review, definitely go do that. You could also, and finally, send us an email, heyguys@cinereelists.com. Send us a comment, a question, a list suggestion, movie suggestion. We always love hearing from Cinerealist fans and creating a dialogue with you guys. So if you need more information on any and all of those things, there are links in the description to do all of them. You ready to talk caught stealing?
I want to say one more thing that reminded me of this before we get into caught stealing. I hate to go back to Nine Inch Nails, but you mentioned Cinerealist fans.
Yeah.
We did see Nine Inch Nails with a Cinerealist fan.
We absolutely did. Logan.
Right? Logan. So, like, if you're cool, come hang out.
For sure. Love Logan. I hung out with him a few days in Chicago, and it was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing tour guide to downtown Chicago for you guys. It was fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, he'd probably join us for Metallica if that ever happened. I bet you he would be there somehow, some way.
Well, I mean, he's closer to Vegas than we are, so
for sure. He's out there in Boise.
That's not Boise, Boise.
That's why I said Boise.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. We learned something new.
We did, for sure. All right, let's get into Caught Stealing. It's in theaters now. We're going to talk about it right after this clip.
Such a nice small town boy. You like baseball, dogs.
I need you to take care of my cat. Where's Russ?
He's not here.
You know not to mess with us, yes?
What did you get me into?
They're scary monsters, and you're their fall guy.
That's not happening. Buckle your seatbelt.
That was Caught Stealing. This is a 2025 American dark comedy crime thriller film, produced and directed by Darren Aronofsky, and starring Austin Butler, Regina King, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith, Liev Schreiber, Vincent D'Onofrio, Benito Martinez Ocasio, Griffin Dunn, and Carol Kane, amongst others. The official IMDb plot synopsis for Caught Stealing is: burned out ex-baseball player Hank Thompson unexpectedly finds himself embroiled in a dangerous struggle for survival amidst the criminal underbelly of 1990s New York City, forced to navigate a treacherous underworld he never imagined. So we've both seen Caught Stealing.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about it, Kyle?
So I'm going to pick this movie apart.
Okay.
And it's not because I didn't like it, because I did enjoy it.
All right.
But it's because I think for Darren Aronofsky, I was a little underwhelmed.
I agree.
Okay. All right.
We are on the same page.
So I enjoyed watching this movie. There's some definitely cliche things that happen in this, and there's some dialogue where I was like, ooh, we could have maybe given this a couple turns through the draft process, because this seems like boilerplate dialogue for like this kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think about Darren Aronofsky, I mean, I think about movies like Pi and The Wrestler, Black Swan, Requiem for a Dream. And these are all movies that... Mother, of course. Yeah. I forget exactly. And I've never seen Noah, so I'm not going to include that one. These are all movies that challenge you,
mm-hmm.
right? And I would say they're divisive movies. Now, for the most part, I like those movies, but
mm-hmm.
they're about people who are either they're challenging characters, or they're in challenging situations, or challenging things happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie has part of that element where Austin Butler has something challenging happen to him. I mean, he's quite hapless in this entire crime caper, right? It's just terrible luck that he is involved in all of this. But it doesn't go much deeper than that. And they try and he has a backstory. You know, you kind of mentioned he's a failed baseball prospect, and there's kind of flashbacks to this trauma that he had as a high schooler. And, you know, he makes some dialogue choices like, I'm not running anymore. That's some of that dialogue where I feel like, oh, we could do maybe a couple more takes on that. Maybe don't make it so in your face.
Sure.
But he was never like, I shouldn't say I sympathize with him, because I'm like, oh man, it stinks that he's in this awful crime situation that he, you know, just kind of fell into. But I never was like hoping for growth from him or like seeing, oh, what kind of person will he be on the other side? Because I felt that stuff was kind of underdeveloped. And I thought Darren Aronofsky was trying to give us that about, you know, like the man he was or the boy he was, then the man he became after tragic things happened in his past. And then like, how will this pull him out of the spiral? But it didn't quite fully get there for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I this might be a boring discussion because I pretty much completely agree with what you just said.
Okay.
I mean, I expect a lot from Darren Aronofsky. You know what I mean?
Right.
For better or for worse, he has a reputation in my brain of delivering movies that nobody else but him can deliver.
Yeah.
They are Darren Aronofsky movies to me. When I see, you know, The Whale or Mother or
The
Requiem
Whale, of
for
course,
a Dream or all of these movies, I'm like, I can't imagine anybody doing it like he did it with these. And the way he does it typically horrifies me and delights me at the same time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like it's they're movies where I cringe, but I don't cringe because they're bad. I cringe because you're like, oh man, like I can't believe we're in this situation right now, or I can't believe this person's doing so and so.
Yeah. And even Noah, which is a movie that most people probably don't even think about, but film nerds don't like it. Critics didn't like it. I was fine with it.
Okay.
At least with Noah, you can see him trying to do something. You can see him trying to push his style into the biblical epic. And you can see him trying to be faithful to the Noah story, but also give it his own spin, right? Like his own little style, his own like
His
most
own point of
most
view,
movies,
I'd probably say.
most modern movies that deal with like biblical religion are cheesy, for lack of a better word. When I watch them, they have a purpose. Their purpose is not necessarily to be the best movie in the world. Their purpose is to get a message across.
Yes.
Right? And Noah is made by a guy that, from what I understand, doesn't even believe in God. You know what I mean? And so his version of the Noah story is his own take on the Noah story. And that's why I found it interesting, even if it wasn't necessarily creatively successful. That brings us to Caught Stealing. Caught Stealing feels like his version of a kind of like, I don't know, one night only crime comedy or something like that.
I was getting Guy Ritchie vibes.
Yeah.
Like Lock, Stock, and Snatch from this movie.
For sure. Like kind of man, wrong place, wrong time, and everything just keeps going wrong for him, no matter how good a person he is or how good he's trying to do.
And a sort of a strange cast of characters all revolving around a MacGuffin of some sort.
For sure. So yeah, I kind of felt like that's what I expected from this movie, is Darren Aronofsky doing his spin on that formula. And you can see shades of that here and there. But for the most part, I found it to be mostly lame.
Okay.
And kind of limp. You know what I mean? Like, there was just no Aronofsky to it. There was no edge to most of it. Like the edge I saw was like when they finally showed the car crashing into the pole in slow motion. Then I was like, this is an Aronofsky shot. You know what I mean? Like this is not standard filmmaking. This is somebody making a creative decision to go there, even though for the most part, it's not that kind of movie. I just, there was like no pathos to anybody or anything. And there were times where it felt like it was being like the backstory for the main guy, Austin Butler's character. They tried to give him like some pathos, some darkness, something to like deal with internally. And it just felt like it was a totally different movie to me whenever they went to that stuff.
Yeah, remember the flashback to like him as a teenager and in the car and everything? I was like, what? Yeah, it's just completely different film. And it didn't sell the emotional weight that I was trying to.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I definitely didn't think about it, but your comparison to Guy Ritchie is like perfect. It felt like he was trying to make a Guy Ritchie movie.
But like a less fun version of a Guy Ritchie movie.
Like a today Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like
Not the
I liked
early
The Gentleman.
good Guy Ritchie movies. I didn't like The Gentleman.
I liked The
hate it,
Gentleman.
but I
Okay.
felt like there was not much there for me.
Okay, I for me, The Gentleman felt like Guy Ritchie going back to his late '90s roots, with a modern take, obviously. But
Sure.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, I
fine.
mean, like for me, I was having the most fun in this movie once you got with like Liev Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio, who throughout the entire movie I was like, I recognize this guy, but I can't figure out who it is.
I did not recognize Vincent D'Onofrio until the credits, and then I was like, "Oh,
Okay.
wait, that is him." Liev
Right.
Schreiber, I pulled right away, but the other guy, I was
him
like,
I pulled. Vincent D'Onofrio, I'm like, that's a famous person, but under all like that hair and makeup, and I can't figure out who that famous person is. And then they're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's Vincent D'Onofrio. Okay. I guess for me, that's when I was having the most fun, and that's when I felt the most like Guy Ritchie. It was like, here we are. He's driving around with like these two Hasidic Jews who are also terrible mobsters in their minivan.
right.
Well, we'll like just shoot people willy nilly. I'm like, okay, this is a weird movie that I'm watching right now.
Sure.
I'm really into when he's like being tortured by Russians who are pulling staples out of him. I was like, okay, this is not doing anything. This isn't fun to watch. I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah, or anything like basically the Jewish mobsters and Matt Smith. Whenever those guys were on screen, I wasn't necessarily vibing with the movie, but I was not turned off by it. Pretty much anything else, and I was just kind of like, this does not feel like it should be part of this movie. It's not fun enough.
Right. It wasn't fun enough. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun enough, and they clearly weren't trying to be serious at the same time, except for the Zoe Kravitz stuff, which, I mean, we don't have to spoil things, but isn't in the movie as much as you would imagine it being in the movie. So
Yeah. I definitely have issues with the direction of her character.
sure.
We'll
Yeah.
put it that way. So
Yeah, and like we're not going to spoil it, but the movie it makes some choices, and I'm not sure I understood how that really helped anything. It didn't feel like it helped anything. It didn't intensify anything
okay.
in a permanent manner for the purposes of the movie or something like I wish kind of the movie started serious and then got more goofy after a turning point.
Yeah.
And most movies would start goofy or funny or comedy and then like get serious in the end, towards the climax. And it felt like it was doing the opposite. And that maybe was on purpose, like a weird Aronofsky, like, I don't know, manipulation of the formula, but it did. If that's what was in the plan, it did not work for me.
For you, was the turning point the return of Matt Smith?
No, the turning
Okay.
point was in Zoe Kravitz. The last time you were in Zoe Kravitz's apartment,
I gotcha. Okay. Yep.
that's when I felt like the more serious tone of the movie climaxed, and then a
Mhm.
lot after that went right into Goofy Town.
Yes, and that's when it felt more like a Guy Ritchie movie to me. Was that back half
Sure.
of like, okay, now we're running around town. All these characters are chasing everyone, and
Right.
they're all a bit caricatures of big personalities. Yeah.
Yeah. And not only that, but like Austin Butler, I not sure my opinion on him, to be honest.
He like
Good Elvis,
he's
but
not a-
like in this, I don't know.
I liked him better in Bike Riders.
Yeah.
I thought in Bike Riders, he in that one he played like the charming hot guy who also like had this weird danger edge to him where you're like, oh, there's something scary behind those eyes.
Right.
And in this one, he was just kind of goody two shoes, just sort of
Right.
Like
depressed goody two-shoes.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe a different actor would have been able to pull that off. I don't know. I think probably the script and the direction, it didn't really matter who you had in that main role. Probably would have been a similar result.
I think I would have rather have seen like Nicholas Hoult in that role.
Yeah.
Because I think he could pull off more of maybe if you went for a more comedic side, he could pull more off of like the what why am I in this? Like, why is this affecting me?
Sure. Or the kid who plays Spider-Man, maybe.
Tobey Maguire?
No. The most recent Spider-Man.
I was picturing Tom Holland and I said Tobey Maguire. Yes, sure. Tom Holland. Yeah.
Tom Holland or who's the other like young male actor?
Like Chalamet?
No, Chalamet's too like skinny.
you couldn't buy him as an athlete.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I couldn't really buy him as like a potential Major League Baseball pitcher.
Sure. Yeah.
Kind of thing. I'm not sure I bought Austin Butler as that either, to be honest. I don't know.
I bought it. I was like, sure, why not?
Sure. Yeah, this is probably the first Aronofsky movie that I can say let me down.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I would say if this wasn't Aronofsky, I would probably give it a little higher rating.
Mm-hmm.
As being like, oh yeah, this is a fun caper. But being that it's Aronofsky and it wasn't always fun, I do expect a little bit more.
Shouldn't do comedies. I think most of his movies have comedic moments in them. He should just make dramas / thriller type of stuff with occasional comedy thrown in. I think that works very good. It's like David Fincher trying to do a comedy. You know what I mean? It's just not your lane, dude.
No, like he can do Mank, which is a drama with comedic and light moments in it.
Even Fight Club has comedic moments in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know. Yeah, there's lots of stuff that you can do as an edgy dramatic director.
Right.
That interjects comedy, and typically Aronofsky can do that. I think he just tried to make a comedy this time and it did not work for me.
Well, he didn't commit to the comedy. He kept trying to go back to the Aronofsky-ness of it all.
We forgot about The Fountain and The Wrestler. Those are also Aronofsky movies.
Oh, I mentioned The Wrestler.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
The Fountain. I love The Fountain.
Yeah. He also wrote the horror movie Below, which I'm pretty sure I've seen.
I'm not familiar with Below.
And I think it's the only movie he wrote and did not direct. Yeah, this is a David Twohy movie, which I am the proud owner of the David Twohy Trophy.
Twohy Trophy.
And I gave Below 2 stars. So not good.
Okay, not good. Good. Maybe if he had directed it, it would have been fine. So.
I don't know. Anyway. All right. Anything else on caught stealing? Final thoughts on my side is like, if you're an Aronofsky hardcore, you're going to see it. You should see it. If you're just trying to watch all his movies, it's definitely not a movie that like you're going to be sitting there thinking like, I hate this. Why am I watching it? You know what I mean? It's not that, but it's also, if you're going into it as a hardcore Aronofsky fan, just be ready to kind of walk away from it and be like, he can't win them all.
Yeah, I would say Aronofsky made a middle of the road movie
for the first time ever.
For the first time. Yep. It's not bad, but it's not him either.
Hey, right. Exactly. It did not feel like him. All right. Let's letterbox star rank this out of 5 stars. I gave it a 2.5.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay. A 2.5 and a 3 for caught stealing. An element of the movie that we didn't really even mention is that there's a cat in the movie, and the cat is kind of somewhat integral to the plot.
The cat's part of the MacGuffin.
Right. Yep. And so our list for this week is going to be our top 10 domestic cat movies or movies that feature a domestic cat. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
One way or another. So it's related. if you haven't seen Caught Stealing and you listen to our review, you don't know how it's related, but there's a cat. Just know
there's a
that.
cat in Caught Stealing. Yeah.
Right. Who wants to go first? You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
You go first because I have a different interpretation of this list than you do probably. So I think
Okay.
you have the more down the center.
Sure.
interpretation.
I mean, every movie on my list has a cat in it. It's ranked both by how much I like that movie in general, and also kind of how integral the cat is, or like how big a role it plays.
Mhm.
Because there are a lot of movies that have a cat. Most of those movies, I could not tell you what the cat does in that movie. It's probably
yeah.
barely in it. But these movies on my top 10 are movies that I could remember the cat being in it and being a part of the story, and not just another set decoration or a jump scare or something like that. So,
Right.
all right. That brings me to my number 10. We're talking Meet the Parents from the year 2000. Do you remember this movie?
Oh, I better Meet the Parents. Yeah, this is
Absolutely.
a VHS staple in the college dorms.
Yeah. Directed by Jay Roach, who has kind of disappeared, right? Like, he did all the Austin Powers movies. He did the Meet the Parents movies, Dinner for
Mhm.
Schmucks, like a lot of movies. And you just don't hear that name anymore, which is interesting.
I wonder if time moved on from him. Culture
Yeah.
moved on from him.
Looks like his last movie was Bombshell, which was actually pretty good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I liked Bombshell.
But you're talking 6 years ago now. Bombshell came out. So,
Right. That's a pre-pandemic movie right there.
right. For those of you that don't know, Meet the Parents stars Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, a bunch of other people. It's the first movie out of 3, I think, they made in the Meet trilogy, MEET.
And I think there's going to be a fourth, like a
Really?
legacy sequel. Oh, I mean, why not? It's
I mean,
at this
how-
point, everything's a legacy sequel. So
Yeah. How I mean, they had already stretched this this concept to the ends, I would say,
Right.
with the first 3.
because they Meet the Parents, which was enjoyable.
Right.
Then Meet the Fockers, which felt like, hey, let's just make one joke based on their last name,
Right. And then wasn't there one more after that?
Little Fockers.
Right.
And I don't even know who's in. Like, it was that the same cast, or they just like get all new people, or who knows if who's in that one.
No, I think that's, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them. And that
So like
means
Ben
that-
Stiller and Robert De Niro are in Little Fockers.
I think, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
And I'm not able to find it right away, so we will move on. I like Meet the Parents. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember it being funny. I remember enjoying the first one, enjoying the surprise of it. You know, having Robert De Niro act goofy was kind of a novelty in the early 2000s. And so seeing him kind of parody his tough guy image a little bit in a movie with Ben Stiller, who was pretty hot as a comedic actor at the time, was fun. And also there's a cat in the movie named Jinxie that Robert De Niro says the Jinxie name like a bunch in that movie, and talks about milking Jinxie and like all kinds. There's jokes about the cat. Whatever. The cat's in the movie. I enjoy it. It's a comedy. Meet the Parents, my number 10.
All right. De Niro and Ben Stiller and everyone else is in Little Fockers.
Yeah.
What year did Little Fockers come out?
Well, if this was 2000, my best guess is 2007.
2010.
Oh, wow. They
10 years
made
after.
2 sequels to that, and it took them 10 years to make those sequels.
Exactly. Just because I feel like Meet the Fockers came out a couple years later.
And then they went like 7 or 8 years
Yeah.
without a sequel.
2004 was Meet the Fockers.
Okay, so they took 6 years to
6
make
years.
that last one.
And 2026, Focker-in-Law.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, some of these people need paychecks. So
Do Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson all need paychecks? Ariana Grande?
is it direct to Netflix or something?
It's all it says is plot TBA.
It would not surprise me if it's direct to streaming, because that seems to be direct to streaming's current MO, is just sequels to comedies that nobody really needs a sequel to.
Oh, like Axel F.
Yeah, or like all the Adam Sandler movies that are getting sequels now from his original run, stuff like that.
Yeah, this could be coming to a streamer that you need to pay for very soon.
Yeah. What's your number 10?
All right, so I did not rank these by how much I like the movies.
Okay.
I ranked these by how much I like the cat.
Okay.
/ how much the cat is integral to the story. A little bit of that too.
Nice.
And I do want to say I have recently become a cat person. I don't know if you know this.
Did you get a cat?
I have cats, plural.
Wait, have you always had cats?
For like a month, I have had cats now. I became a cat person last month.
Oh, okay. So you have not always had cats. You always had a cat for the last month.
Yes. I've always had a cat for the last month.
Okay.
Or cats, I should say. So
fair enough. Oh, you know what we forgot to mention?
Oh.
Zach is no longer with us.
For
this episode, he is no longer with us.
Or next week too, right? He's out next week also.
For next week, he is no longer with us as well.
Yes.
Yes.
And then he will be with us in the future. He will no longer be with us in the future.
You and I both know, Kyle, there are no guarantees in life.
There are no guarantees.
All I know is he is currently no longer with us.
Oh, as Zach would say,
on this podcast, I mean.
I hope he's with us in the future.
Me too. I really hope he lives long enough to be with us again.
For episode 697.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I rank these by sort of how much I like the cat and how important it is to the story.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 10 is Alien, which features Jonesy the cat. And Jonesy the cat, kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
Like there is a creepy alien stalking this ship, but there's also a cat stalking this ship. Mm-hmm. And like there are multiple jump scares with this cat as it's hiding in some bunker. And you think, oh my god, there's alien there. No, it's just Jonesy hissing at people. He may bite someone.
Sure.
Alien, great movie. Jonesy, not doing it for me in the Alien movie.
Interesting. So it's number 10 because you don't necessarily like Jonesy.
And I don't really think he does anything besides give you cheap scares.
Gotcha.
Like there's a very famous filmmaking phrase, save the cat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is like, if you want to make a character sympathetic, give him a pet, give him a cat.
Right.
And in this movie, you literally have people like Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz who help the cat. And then you have Russian mobsters that kick the cat.
Yeah.
And again, this is where it felt like base movie making. Like, okay, save the cat. Great. They'll help the cat. They'll kick the cat.
Yep. Definitely.
And in this movie, it feels like in Alien, Jonesy is like, let's throw a cat in there just to, make everyone a little bit more cuddly in this,
and then use it to scare the crap out of people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. My number 9, I don't know the name of the cats in this movie because it's kind of fleeting, which is why it's at number 9. Hellboy from 2004. If you recall the titular character to Hellboy, aka Hellboy, loves cats. And in his bedroom, especially the 2004 one, there's just cats everywhere and he loves them. And so my number 9 is the cats from Hellboy.
Who go unnamed.
Right. There's too many of them to name.
Is Hellboy Golden Army worth a watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I was and I'm not alone in this. I was kind of sad they never got to make a third one out of that because I feel
with
like
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, with GDT and Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
That's my Hellboy for sure.
Okay.
And Golden Army just kind of explodes the world, right? In the first one, they're kind of like focused on Hell's Kitchen, like New York City type thing.
Yeah, New York City and like the Nazi occult stuff.
Right. And that carries over into the next one, but there's just such a bigger cast of characters. You go to a world where like there's just tons of these mutated people and stuff like that. And You can tell Guillermo del Toro is really just getting to have fun in that,
Good. Okay, that's
in that
cool.
second movie. Yeah, I think it's worth it.
All right,
Anyway.
I'll check it out. My number 8 or number 9, I should say,
Mhm.
is also supposedly the first movie I ever saw in a theater.
Okay.
I don't remember it because I was very little,
Mhm.
but this is Oliver and Company from 1988.
Okay.
Oliver is voiced by Joey Lawrence, and that's all I remember for this movie. I've not seen this movie since. Though for what I did see it multiple times after the fact. So like we had like Disney when I was a kid, and if I remember correctly, Oliver is like a cat that gets left on the street. It's supposed to be a domestic cat, house cat, but gets abandoned, and then makes a bunch of other street animal friends, and like learns how to survive on the street and build a community, and it's all very heartwarming.
And sing. He learns how to sing.
Oh, they're singing in Oliver and Company also? Okay,
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Big time. Oliver and Company. I remember that coming out when I was a kid, and it was supposed to be like Disney's grand return to animation. Because I believe it was like right before Little Mermaid.
Yeah, Little Mermaid was the next year. Yeah.
Right. And so that movie came out and didn't do very well. It wasn't like a huge hit. And the discussion around that movie versus Little Mermaid was like, can Disney come back? You know what I mean?
Right.
That was supposed to be the start of their comeback, and it did not work. Now they got this Little Mermaid movie. Is that going to be any good? And then of course it was, and it started the Disney Renaissance. But Oliver and Company, pretty big bomb.
If it's any consolation, I also saw Little Mermaid in the theater,
Mm-hmm.
and I distinctly remember that experience. So,
Yeah, me too.
Oliver and Company, don't remember that whatsoever. Little Mermaid the next year, oh yeah, I remember seeing that in the theater. That left an impression.
Little Mermaid was like the first movie. I remember seeing that in the theater with my little sister, who I don't know how old she was at the time, but she was very young. That's the first time I saw a movie that clearly, I think, is targeted at girls, females.
Sure, yeah.
And yet I love that movie.
It's great. It's great.
Such a great. That's like one of the first ones that I saw where I was like, oh, I can enjoy movies that aren't made for me as long as they're well made. It doesn't matter really whether it was made for me or not.
Right.
And that's one of my earliest memories of seeing a movie and being like, I like Little Mermaid, and I'm not afraid to say it.
My name is James, and I like Little Mermaid.
Right. For sure. All right, my number 8, Austin Powers from 1997.
My number 8 is Austin Powers from 1997.
The cat definitely not integral to the story, but I mean, Mr. Bigglesworth is kind of iconic. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
And with Dr. Evil being a parody of Blofeld and Bond villains, you have to give him a cat.
for sure.
And to have him be Mr. Bigglesworth, that he like kind of talks with a baby voice, is it's a good bit of comedy.
Yep. Okay, that means we're on number 7.
Yeah.
Let's see if we match up again. My number 7 is from 1993, Homeward Bound.
Oh, good pick.
Homeward Bound, for those of you that don't know, features a cat named Sassy. And in this movie, some animals get lost. I don't remember how. and they have to find their way home. And so it's like a adventure road movie starring animals. Did the animals talk in this? I don't remember.
They have voices, but their mouths don't move.
They're internal voices, right? They're like psychically talking to each other type of thing.
I mean,
the movie doesn't say specifically, but that's kind of what's happening.
The animals talk to each other.
Right.
But there's no CGI. There's no peanut butter. Like they'll just show, I think it's Shadow, or they'll show Chance, and that's voiced by Michael J. Fox. And you'll hear Michael J. Fox say, "Come on, give me the ball, give me the ball." And then they'll show Sally Fields, or they'll show Sassy, who's voiced by Sally Fields. And she's like, "Come on, Chance, calm down." So like, there's dialogue. They talk to each other, but the filmmakers aren't trying to like make you think that these animals can vocalize their words.
Right. I should say the movie I'm talking about is Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey.
Correct. We're the 1993 version. Yes.
Right, because there's like a couple like TV versions that
Yes.
that are not the movie I'm talking about. And Sassy, fun fact, was voiced by Sally Field,
Correct. Yeah.
which is awesome.
She did Mrs. Doubtfire and Homeward Bound in the same year.
She was very busy.
Yeah.
I miss Sally Field. I used to watch Gidget as a kid because it was like on Nick at Night, like repeats.
Sure. Yeah.
And I don't know why I was watching Gidget, because isn't that like a 60s show or something like that?
It's because when we were of that age, sometimes all that was on was Nick at Night. You turn on TV, you're like, well, it's either news or whatever's playing on Nick at Night tonight. So I guess we're watching that.
For sure. And even though Sally Field at that point was like well into her 40s or whatever, all I knew her as was the cute girl on the TV. You know what I mean? Who was probably like in her early 20s when they filmed Gidget. So anyway, still enjoy Sally Field to this day.
Good pick. Yeah. All right. My number 7, and this could be the controversial one, but this is Goose from Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Because although Goose presents itself as a domestic house cat, it's actually an alien that can like splay its mouth out like a mind flayer.
I think it counts. It's still a cat.
Okay. All right.
It's certainly doing an impression of a cat.
It's doing an impression of a cat. Yeah.
Sure.
And you don't know that it's not a cat until rather later in the movie. Apparently that's how Nick Fury got his scar. I don't know if that's canon or not, but it's definitely canon now for the MCU. I liked Captain Marvel. I have not seen the Marvels. I don't know why that matters to this story, but I liked Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. I thought this movie was kind of fun as like this movie also, it takes place in the 90s. It's sort of a throwback in that sense. And yeah, I mean, I don't think this movie is the greatest Marvel movie, but I think it's above average. It does not deserve all the hate it gets, but yeah, it's definitely not the one I like always go back to as, oh yeah, we have to watch Captain Marvel again.
Yeah, I saw it once. I'll probably see it one more time before I am no longer with us.
Okay.
And
well, I hope you're still with us.
And it was fine. I also didn't think it was worse than your average Marvel movie.
No, not at all.
I also don't think it's better than your average Marvel movie. It's right in the middle.
Yeah.
For sure. So cool. And I would say there's nothing to be scared about with the Marvels. It's a short movie for Marvel anyway.
Okay.
And it's fun. It's made for probably Galen's age more than your age.
Sure. Yeah.
And yeah, it's a nice little less than 2 hour diversion.
Yeah, but why do they hate men?
I don't even think that's a part of the movie. If it is,
yeah.
If it is, it didn't bother me.
I don't understand the misogynist argument against Marvels or Captain Marvel. And I don't want to explain to me, because if you think that, you're wrong. So
I can explain it to you in one word.
Okay.
Clicks.
And
I'm not
true.
talking about groups of people who hang out together.
No, you're talking views and outrage.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the only reason I can see why anybody would be upset with that really goofy movie. All right. My number 6, the previously mentioned Alien from 1979.
Nice.
Starring Jonesy. I don't have much to add that you didn't already cover. Other than, man, that cat, it's a real survivor.
Does it make it to the third movie, though?
Not the third. I don't
Okay,
think it dies, though. I think they just, the third movie, don't they like freeze her and like make it like many years into the future or something like that?
Right, but at the end of Aliens,
I don't think the cat dies.
Well, at the end, okay, let me say, Ripley, Newt, and the cat all get into like the cryopod together.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Alien 3, only Ripley wakes up. So I'm pretty sure Newt and the cat get killed between Aliens and Alien 3.
They get killed or they die in the chamber?
Okay, they die in the chamber. They got killed off from the franchise. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Though, I don't know, Jonesy could be in Alien 3. Our Alien expert, 3 expert Zach is not here. So
right. He's not with us. He's
not with us.
He's no longer with us. For this episode.
For this episode.
Right.
Wouldn't that be wild if he really did pass away? Like,
No,
oh yeah, by the
please
way, guys.
do not say that.
No, I would never say that. But like, what a not what a terrible way to like announce someone's passing. It's like, oh yeah, by the way,
For sure.
before I get to my number 5.
If that ever happens, nobody's ever going to take us seriously anymore.
Well, no, I hopefully if oh god, I'm gonna get on this road. Anyway, let's go on to this movie. Let's
Sure.
talk lighter things. My number 6 is a movie that I liked as a kid, and then I rewatched as an adult, and I was like, oh, this is not for me at all anymore.
Okay.
But I do like the cat character in it and plays a pretty big role. And this is 1993 again, Hocus Pocus.
Okay.
Yeah. At the time when this movie came out, I really liked it. It was like a fun kind of like kid-friendly spooky story, Halloween story. I like Bette Midler in it.
Mhm.
Binks, I think it's Binks the cat. Thackeray Binks, right?
I don't know. I've only seen it once.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that the cat is like an actual boy who got transformed into a cat
Okay.
by the sisters. The cat does talk to humans, and it is a little CGI mouth that's like opening and closing, / or it could be a puppet also at times.
Like a
That's probably-
90s mouth, CGI mouth.
You know, it could be a 90s puppet when it's talking. Maybe like every time it's talking, it's sitting there, or maybe like it's been point is I watched this movie like 15 years ago with my wife. We're like, oh, we haven't seen Hocus Pocus since we were kids. Let's watch it again. Yeah, no, it's for kids. I did not find much enjoyment in it whatsoever as an adult.
Interesting. I don't remember much about it, but I also came to this movie as an adult, which is weird because I had 3 sisters.
Oh yeah, you'd think so.
You'd think this would have been in the rotation somewhere because
Right.
I don't know. It just feels like when people mention it as one of their favorites, it's normally not a male.
Yeah, I would say for the most part. But people who love this movie.
Yeah.
So like if you love this movie and you got nostalgic feelings for you, good on you.
Yep.
But
Have at it.
not for me. Nope.
All right, my number 5 is actually a pretty recent movie from 2024. It's A Quiet Place: Day One,
Oh, okay.
which has a cat that's integral to the plot. I won't say how because it's a little bit of a spoiler. The cat is named Frodo in the movie,
Okay.
which is fun because the main character has to scream out Frodo a bunch. Which totally gives me flashbacks to watching Lord of the Rings movies and having Sam yell Frodo's name constantly.
Mr. Frodo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And A Quiet Place: Day One is like a movie that I kind of feel like didn't need to exist for the most part. Just from the perspective of the Quiet Place universe, this being the 3rd movie in that series and also a prequel. It felt like they didn't, other than showing you when the aliens first land on Earth and like the chaos that might have ensued within the first hours of that happening.
Mhm.
There's really no connection to that and the characters in the other 2 movies. And so it just kind of felt like, okay, this is a spin-off, not really a prequel. It's a prequel in that it happens before, but it's not linked at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess the point is I didn't really like the movie, but I liked the cat in it. And I liked how they integrated the cat into it. And so yeah, if you're gonna force me to, I didn't dislike the movie. It just could have been, it didn't have to have A Quiet Place: before it.
Right. Did it feel like a movie that was a different like a different story, and then they said, "Oh, let's fold this into the Quiet Place franchise."
Well,
like
like-
here's our next movie.
Nobody in the movie knows that the aliens work on audio, right?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because the aliens are landing and everybody's freaking out and running because they're all getting annihilated by them. So there's like no opportunity for anybody to even be quiet.
No, so it's completely different than what A Quiet Place was giving us in the first time around.
Right. And you'd think that by the end of the movie, somehow they would like discover that being quiet is important. And like the first 2 movies, the hook of those movies, what makes them interesting is that spin on an alien invasion.
Yeah.
And so when you completely remove all of that, you're left with like a movie that doesn't have to be in this universe. Could be any generic alien invasion movie, day one. That's
Yeah,
essentially what it is.
It's War of the Worlds.
Right. But it did have a cat in it. My number 5.
Awesome. My number 5 is a 2009 stop animation movie directed by Henry Selick called Coraline. This is a story about a girl who lives in, I think she lives in like a hotel or a motel with her parents, and they're really busy with work and with trying to kind of like keep their lives together. And she feels neglected until she finds a secret door in this new house. And that takes her into like an alternate reality where everything's the same but different. Like her parents are there, her neighbors are there, but in this case, her parents, they love her and they want her to be around, and she feels accepted there. Except it's a bit of a darker look on her own reality. It's a great movie. I watched this with Galen, or rewatch it with him probably in the last year, and it's a little creepy at times. I'm not gonna lie, but the animation is incredible. I think the story is really heartwarming, and throughout the movie there is this black cat, which is kind of the guide for Coraline. The cat's never named. I don't think the cat ever speaks, but throughout the movie, both in our world and this alternate world, the cat is kind of guiding her to safety and throughout her journey. And it's an interesting character.
Nice. That Coraline is a movie that they've re-released a couple times, and I just have never caught it again in the theater, and I really want to see that on the big screen again, especially the 3D version.
Oh yeah,
because 3D stop motion animation is like, I think, the sweet spot for animation.
Yes.
And so
because you already have like a 3D object that they're filming. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I need them to re-release it again. I got to get to it. All right. My number 4 barely has a cat in it.
Okay.
But the cat's kind of important. From 1999, The Matrix. The cat is when they realize they're in the Matrix.
That is very clever. Not when they realize they're in the Matrix, when they realize that something's going down.
Right.
Right. Because
something has changed.
Yes.
Because of the cat, basically. Yep. Something has changed within their, virtual reality.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Black cat. Nothing crazy about the cat. Cat's barely in it, but kind of integral to the story. So my number 4.
That cat is such a good actor. It does the same scene exactly twice. Like beat for beat. It's impressive.
Perfect precision. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know how many takes did they need for that. My number 4 is a little lighter movie than The Matrix, another sci-fi action movie, but this one's called Men in Black from 1997, directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. This movie stars Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith as agents in the MIB, in Men in Black. They are a secret organization that protects the Earth from alien invasions. And in this case, there is an alien, I think played by Vincent D'Onofrio, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Edgar.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. He is
probably my favorite Vincent D'Onofrio performance.
It's a great performance from him. Yeah, sure. He's really playing a lot of fun with that.
The combination of him doing his thing and whoever did the makeup, like the loose skin makeup on him, is just the combination. The 1-2 punch of those two is awesome. Anyway,
yeah, and just how he lumbers around and the voice he uses, he's great in it.
Yeah.
And in this case, he is searching for a cat named Orion, and this cat is pretty integral to the plot. Cat doesn't talk, cat doesn't do much except sort of hang out, but the cat's the MacGuffin. I guess spoiler alert for Men in Black if you haven't seen it before. Sure. It's the cat.
Definitely. So Men in Black is your number 4, and it also happens to be my number 3. And
perfect.
I have nothing to add other than I agree.
Super fun movie.
I love The Matrix. I'm sorry. I love Men in Black. I love The Matrix too, but yes. Men in Black for sure.
My number 3, the previously mentioned Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey. This is also 1993. How many movies from 1993 do we have on our list here? Because I've got Homeward Bound, I got Hocus Pocus.
I only have the one.
Oh, I guess it's those two, that Homeward Bound and Hocus Pocus. Maybe because you mentioned it before. Okay, well, we have 2 movies from 1993, which is, for all the years of movies you could choose, the fact that 2 cat movies came out that year is pretty crazy. Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey. You kind of hit it on the head. This is 2 dogs and a cat they're not abandoned by their family, but their family lives on a farm out in the Midwest, and then they're moving to the big city, and they can't take the pets with them because they're a small apartment and they can't have pets in their apartment. So they put the pets up for adoption, but the pets are like, we don't want to be adopted, and they make this cross-country journey to, I believe it's California, to rejoin their family. And they encounter porcupines and bears and trappers and raging rivers. And Sassy the cat, voiced by Sally Field, is sort of the sensible one of them all. You have Chance, is voiced by Michael J. Fox. That's the hyper American Terrier. And then Shadow, voiced by Donna Michi, is sort of the loyal golden retriever, the old sage of the group. But definitely Sassy the cat is the one who's kind of trying to keep everything together.
Nice. Good one. I like that movie. Clearly, it's made my list.
Made your list.
My number 2, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night from 2014.
Okay.
Which is kind of a low-budget indie movie that definitely has a cat in it, and the cat is integral to the plot. The cat, actually, the director, I read online, the director met the cat during the pre-production process, realized that the cat could take decent commands, right?
Oh, okay,
could do more than she thought. And so she rewrote parts of the script to expand the amount of screen time the cat got, because she figured out that she could get more out of the cat than what she expected, which I thought was cool. And the first time I've ever heard of anybody rewriting a script for a cat.
To accommodate the cat,
right?
Yeah,
for a cat performer, you know what I mean? Like, she met the cat she was gonna have on set, and she was like, "Oh, this cat's cool. It'll do things. I can write things for it.
We need more cat in this movie."
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, black and white movie. It's a vampire story. It's good. It's generally overlooked. It's one of those movies that, the people that saw it at the time generally like it a lot. It's very unique. It's got a very expensive Blu-ray because they only printed it in 2014, and then the people that were going to buy it bought it, and they never made any more. So it's one that I'm on the hunt for, and just I can certainly buy it right now for an inflated price, but I'd rather find it for a decent price.
Right, find it in the wild. Yep.
Very stylish movie, and a good one. I don't think Zach liked it. I think we talked about it on the podcast at the time. He did not like it, and I did. So take that for what it's worth. My number 2, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
All right. Never seen it. Have heard of it, though. My number 2 is a 2024 animated film called Flow. This is a wordless, humanless movie about a cat who's sort of living alone in the world. A great flood floods his house, and then this cat teams up with a group of dogs and a capybara, and I think some sort of bird, swan possibly. And these animals try to survive this flood together, and sort of settle their differences, because each animal has its own personality, has its own way of wanting to accomplish things, and they need to learn to work together if they're going to survive as individuals. I think this is a beautifully animated movie, and it's also a beautifully told movie. Like I said, it is wordless. This movie is only told through the expressions and sounds of these animals. And for the most part, I could figure out what was going on. There's definitely some artistic licenses, I should say, taken, or some fantastical elements to this movie that I don't fully understand. But I thought everything I saw on the screen was beautiful and engaging. That's last year's Flow.
Nice. I should also say that, and I should have said this when I was setting up the criteria for my list,
Sure.
I eliminated all animated movies.
Okay. That's
So there are no animated movies. I agree with you. Flow is probably my favorite cat-focused movie.
right.
And also the most cat-focused movie I can think of.
It is quite cat focused. Yes.
For sure. At least that I've seen. I'm sure there's lots of kids movies that are more focused, cat focused, but that leads me to my number one, which is a live action movie from 2016, Keanu.
I've never seen this movie. It kept popping on a list though.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a comedy that stars Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key, aka Key and Peele. It's the only Key and Peele movie, I believe. It's not a Key and Peele movie, but it's the only movie that I can think of that stars both of them, and they're the stars of the movie. If that makes
Probably,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah. I think they've been in other movies together, but they're always like part of an ensemble. Always. I think maybe in a handful of movies they've been in an ensemble together. And in this movie, they are protecting a cat. They like find a cat, and then they realize other people want this cat, and then they end up having to protect the cat. And I don't really remember the specifics of the movie. I remember I've seen this twice. I saw it once in the theater and didn't really care about it at all. It was fine, but I expected it to be really funny, and instead it was just kind of like, all right, let's move on. Zach loved it at the time, which is why I revisited it a few years later, and enjoyed it a lot more the second time. It's still not like all-time classic for me, but I do think there is something there, and that it's funny, far funnier than I gave it credit for the first time.
Sure.
And I think it might be one of those movies that just like the more you watch it, the funnier it gets, type of thing. Like
I think comedies can do that sometimes. You have to sort of let the comedy sink in and get into the rhythm.
Absolutely. Like Step Brothers was a movie that I saw, and it came and went, and I was like, yeah, it was funny. And then I saw it a couple more times, and now I love that movie. It's very stupid, but fun. Much like Keanu. Stupid, but fun.
Stupid, but fun. All right. My movie is fun, but I don't think it's stupid.
Okay.
It's my number one. It's also animated. I can see why you chose not to do animated. You just want to focus on like live action cats, because a live action cat performance is much different than an animated cat performance. And my movie is definitely a very artistic take on the animated cats, but it's also a great cat movie, and that is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
This is kind of why I didn't include animated movies.
Okay.
Is because I have not seen Puss in Boots 2.
which is an insane like thing to say. Oh, you should really go see Puss in Boots 2.
No,
but you should see Puss in Boots 2.
I want to see that movie. I've actually considered watching it multiple times on pretty much your recommendation alone.
Okay.
So I'm going to get to it one of these times. But anyway, go ahead. Tell us about it.
So you definitely should, because like this is Puss in Boots, right? Antonio Banderas. But in this case, he's used up 8 of his 9 lives.
Mm-hmm.
And Puss in Boots is now having an existential crisis.
Because he could actually die this time.
He could actually die now, right? Okay. Before that, everything was like, oh, it's fine. I can do what I want. I got 9 lives. 8 of those are gone. And I was like, uh-oh. What I do actually matters now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Puss in Boots trying to figure out, who am I as a person? Who am I in this world? Which you don't expect a movie to be that deep. That's like a spin-off, a sequel of a spin-off of the Shrek second movie. You know, like it's like this movie does not need to go as deep as it does. And the fact that it does is just amazing. It also has a performance by Wagner Moura, who you knew from like Narcos. He played Pablo Escobar. Mm-hmm. He's been in other things. If you looked up Wagner Moura, like, oh, I know that guy. The Elite Squad movies. Have you seen the Elite Squad movies from Brazil?
I have not, but I know what you're talking about. I heard the second one is like the best one or something.
I think the second one's better. You should. I watched them 2-1. You should watch them 1-2 because I think it makes more sense.
Okay.
But yeah, the second one's better than the first one for sure.
Second one's Elite Squad, right?
They're both Elite Squad.
Right, but there's like a subtitle on the.
It's Elite Squad : I don't know. I can't remember.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But anyway, Dr. Mora he voices death in this movie, and it is a scary kid. It's a scary performance for a kid movie. Like when they have death on screen.
Sure.
And it's kind of, I'm a proponent that kids movies can push kids a little bit. Things like Coraline. I think it's okay. Parents can make their own choices, obviously, but I think it's okay for kids to explore emotions that are uncomfortable through a movie. I think a movie is a great way to be like, what is fear? What are these things I'm not, these emotions I'm not familiar with? And movies can be a safe way to explore that. And I think Puss in Boots, again, this movie delivers it's aiming way higher than it needed to. And that's why I think it's worth the watch.
I love when movies not only subvert your expectation, but subvert your negative expectation.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like something that should absolutely just be a cash grab, garbage kids movie, and it turns out to be something artistic that has something to say. I think that's really cool.
I honestly, it's my favorite movie of the Shrek universe, which probably isn't very hard to get to, but
I don't really remember any of them other than the first one. And the first one was like a good parody of animated fairy tale
it's a good satire. It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's very late 90s, early 2000s though. Like the jokes and stuff are just very.
Oh yeah. I would say the jokes have not aged well. Put it that way at times. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Elite Squad: The Enemy Within. That's the second movie.
Right. Yeah.
But I would say see both. Oh, Dr. Mora, wasn't he in Civil War? Wasn't he like the reporter? Or one of the reporters, the cameraman or something, or the producer?
I don't know. But if you say so.
It was Kirsten Dunst, Kaylee Spaney, and Dr. Mora. He was the third guy of that trio in Civil War.
Sure. Cool.
Yeah, good lists.
That was our top 10 domestic cat movie list. I need to shout out a website.
Okay.
cinemacats.com.
Really?
Shout out to old school internet where people just create a website and catalog one very specific thing. cinemacats.com, which to this day, still adding movies.
Oh, August 31st, they are still right. And this looks like a blog it looks like a WordPress blog.
Right. Yeah, and they're still updating it. They're adding, obscure French movies and stuff like that because I think they've gone through all the obvious ones. But they have an entire index of every movie that has a cat in it. And if you click on it, they're not reviews of the movies. They're basically a plot synopsis and then telling you exactly what the cat does, maybe even what the name of the actual cat is, because evidently there's like certain cats that have been in a ton of movies because they're the ones that do well on sets. If you're into movies and cats, domestic cats, well, I think they also have, non-domestic cats on their website, but check out cinemacats.com.
Yeah, right. I'm scanning through some random movie called Marie and Julian. And it's like the cat even starts to follow Marie around when she moves in and explores the upstairs rooms. Like this is someone who is watching a movie solely for what the cat's doing.
Right.
That's all they want. That's all they care about.
And they'll give you the name of the cat. They'll tell you whether the cat is named in the movie or named in the credits. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they aren't named in the movie, but the name of the cat will pop up in the credits. They'll tell you if the cat dies. They'll tell you, anything the cat does in the movie, that's what they're focused on at cinemacats.com.
This one is great because I don't think it actually gives you the plot. It just says, eventually, Marie returns and her secret is revealed. During these touching moments, Julian repeatedly turns to Nevermore, the cat, for comfort.
Sure.
So there's nothing about the plot of the movie. I don't know. So there's some secret, but the cat is there for comfort.
if we had better forethought, we should have figured out who runs that website and invited them on the podcast.
That would have been. Let's see. What's the contact on this?
We should probably do it anyway for some other thing.
They have UV reviews.
I would love to talk to whoever administers the cinemacats.com website.
Yes, please. I'm on their contact, but there's really just a link to. I bet we can contact them through Facebook.
We'll see what we can do. I don't know what we would do with them because we just did a cat list.
That's true. The ship has sailed, unfortunately.
Sure. But I mean, I would still, I don't know. There's something I love people who are clear. Like this Cinema Cats website has clearly been around forever and they're still updating it. And I love that.
Oh yeah. It looks like they reposted other podcasts that talk about cats.
Interesting. We should submit this one.
We should reach out to them and be like, hey, we talked about cats.
And we plugged you.
We did plug them. Yep. Cinemacats.com. They're also on Facebook at Cinemacats.
Nice. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode 695 of the Cinereelists, where we talked caught stealing in cat movies. We appreciate your listenership. Don't forget, check out the video version on YouTube, support us on Patreon, leave us an Apple Podcast review, or send us an email. Links are in the description to do any and all of those things. You could also follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at Cinereelists, or you can follow me on my personal Blue Sky or Letterboxd account at YoJRB.
You can find me on Letterboxd at Peter SKB.
We will be back next week with we're going to talk a little bit of Jaws, the shark movie Jaws, which is having a moment right now because it's its 50th anniversary. And we're going to pair that with a new shark movie, new to VOD, titled Dangerous Animals. So if you want to do some homework for the podcast, check out Dangerous Animals, maybe get a rewatch in of Jaws 50th right now here in Orlando and also where Kyle is at. Jaws is in theaters right now.
It's in theaters. Yep.
If you've never seen it on a movie screen, here's your chance. They also have it in IMAX, Dolby, 4DX, 3D, all these other formats. So if you've seen it a million times, maybe you can find a new way to see it. I don't know if you'll have time this week, but for anybody listening, I worked on a project. Did I tell you about this? A Jaws-related project?
No, you did not.
So there's a guy named Jamie Benning, who is an editor who maybe 10 years ago or so was releasing fan-made documentaries on movies that he loved. He started with the original trilogy Star Wars movies, then he did Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then he did Jaws. I think Jaws was maybe the last one he did. Anyway, he calls them filmumentaries.
Okay.
They're not like standard documentaries. Standard documentaries are like talking heads and like, lots of behind the scenes footage, and they're just kind of describing how they made it. What he does is he gathers all the information he can find on a movie, from audio commentaries to interviews to still photos and deleted scenes, just any piece of media he can possibly find. He reads like 10 books on the movie.
Sure. Yeah.
That he's doing. And essentially he edits the original movie and intercuts it like VH1 pop-up style to where the movie will seamlessly meld into the actual movie, into somebody talking about the scene of the movie. And so like only the key dialogue from the movie he's left in, and then occasionally it turns into an audio commentary, and then occasionally it turns into a deleted scene. And it flows like you're watching the movie instead of watching a documentary about the movie, but you also learn about the movie. So you'd never want to watch this as a first time watching a movie.
It sounds like a terrible way to experience a movie the first time.
But if you're like me and you've seen Jaws enough and you just want to experience Jaws, but also want to experience it in a different way, definitely go check out Inside Jaws. Also, Inside Jaws, most of the graphics in that movie, I did.
Oh, okay. So there's a little connection there.
Not all
That's
of it,
cool.
and we don't have time for me to go over which ones exactly, but as you're watching it, just that's another reason to watch it. Whenever you see graphics come up, there's a chance I created that. Same thing with his filmumentary on I just mentioned it. The first Indiana Jones movie.
Raiders.
Yep. The graphics in Raiders, I also did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. There's a bunch of like comic book panels in those that I animated. And there's a bunch of like, have you ever seen still photos where like the subject kind of like zooms in on you? The background just kind of like zooms out and it kind of like makes the thing look like it has motion, even though it's a still image.
Yeah. You're sort of taking foreground, background. It's kind of like the old Disney effect of moving those.
Right. So if you ever see that in a still in the Jaws filmumentary or the first Indiana Jones movie filmumentary, I think I did all of those. There might be some that I didn't do. I don't remember because this was 10 years ago. But anyway, link will be in the description for Inside Jaws, the filmumentary, if you want to check it out. And Kyle, if you wanted to check it out. Might be a fun one.
I do, actually. I should have time to check that out. So, yeah.
It's definitely one you could watch with Galen, too, if you want to, like, spark his brain on filmmaking.
Yeah.
Like, you can't watch that and not be, like, kind of amazed at how movies come together. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
Especially with a movie like Jaws.
How did this become?
There was so much drama about Jaws. You know, the making of Jaws. We'll get into
right.
this next
Exactly.
week a lot,
A lot of like behind the scenes issues with making that movie.
It's like so notorious that like I don't really want to watch a documentary about how hard Jaws was to film.
Right. Yeah.
But watching it in the context of a documentary where you're also rewatching Jaws over the course of the documentary is like perfect. It's a sweet spot for me.
All right, I'll check it out. That sounds cool. I'm really looking forward to just talking Jaws with you next week. Like,
Before we move on,
got a lot to say. Yeah.
These documentaries, while being fan made, are no joke. And there was a time that Jamie Benning was in major discussions with major studios to put these on physical media as bonus features.
Wow, really?
And from what I understand, it just never happened because of rights issues. Like the way he does it, he doesn't care about copyright. He just, if it's out there and it's about the movie, it's up for grabs for what he's making type of thing. So that was the hard part, is they wanted him to respect copyright. And he was like, it's not going to be the same if you only let me use your archive materials.
Yeah, you're right. Like I'm trying to tell this complete story and I need the complete story to tell it. So,
right.
Yeah.
And the studios were like, well, you can't put somebody else's image in your documentary on our bonus disc because then we have to pay them.
Right.
And they didn't want to pay them. So that was my understanding of why it never happened. Anyway, look forward to that. Jaws, Dangerous Animals. We'll see you guys there. Until then, keep it cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.